Okay, so we are getting back into it. This is Writing Tips with Rawr. That's my internet nickname. I go by Rawr. I have been trying to write professionally for about 10 years now, so I have some experience in this. And I am chewing gum currently to keep my throat moist. So if you hear something, I'm sorry. But I did a quick test and I don't think you can hear the chewing. I think we're okay. But anyway, so I'm also an illustration artist, and let's get into this next episode that I got for you, in case you need any tips. So, one thing that I do also notice, and I also struggle with this, is increasing vocabulary. Sometimes what happens is you're writing, but then you get into a subject and you end up reusing words like um sometimes you just like it gets repetitive, it gets a little redundant. And increasing your vocabulary can help with that. And these are some of the ways that I increase my vocabulary so that I prevent myself from kind of sounding redundant, being a little repetitive. So, firstly, what I have in mind are kind of guidelines or rules for myself when I am looking up synonyms or I'm just looking up for a word in general. Um, First thing I keep in mind is if my repeated word, my overused word is one word, then I want to find a one-worded synonym. So, as you can see, my personal or redundant words, one of them is darkness. So if I want a synonym for darkness, I want it to be one word. And it sounds a little silly to explain that, but it will start to make sense once we get into the resources of how to increase vocabulary. And the second rule that I have for myself is does your synonym fit the vibe or the same purpose of your original word that you're using? So, this is kind of more like understanding the synonym, because sometimes you'll look up a synonym on the internet or in the dictionary, and the definition of that synonym doesn't quite fit, um, like the sentence that you're trying to convey, the idea that you're trying to convey in your sentence with the original word. So, or sometimes it just feels out of place, like the original word that you used is kind of like a more common, or your writing style is a little more casual, I guess you could say. Like you have a specific writing style, and then your synonym is kind of like a $5 word, or just like it's too exotic, if that's a way to put it. Like sometimes it just doesn't fit. Like it looks like a puzzle piece that doesn't fit the puzzle that you have for your story or your sentence. And that puzzle piece is meant to be with a different puzzle. So that's kind of sometimes what happens. And then the third rule that I have for myself when looking up synonyms is looking up the definition of the synonym. And that ties in with the second one, kind of. Excuse me, had to burp. This, like I've said before, this is important because, again, like maybe the synonym that you found doesn't quite mean the exact same thing that your original word means. Maybe, or maybe it doesn't have the same connotation as your original word. Like, if I say darkness, And then I find, or how about actually, let's say voice. And then I find a synonym that's like inclination. But maybe, or I find a synonym that says resonance. Well, resonance, can mean different kind of things, have different little connotations around it, because it could be talking about singing voice, like singing, or is talking about resonance like energy vibrations, which kind of delves a little more into spirituality. So maybe resonance isn't a very good synonym for voice. So that's also a good reason why you should look up definitions of synonyms. And it also helps with like having updated definitions of words, because sometimes words mean one thing and then it means something else, which could totally mess up the sentence entirely, totally mess up what you're trying to convey with your story. And I need a minute to breathe. So yeah, those are the words that I have, the rules that I have when I'm looking for synonyms. And now I'm gonna go get into different ways that I look up synonyms. And it depends of like what you're doing in the moment, or if you're like purposely looking up, like maybe you notice you use this word way too many times as you're writing, and then you make up a list. Like, these are words that I commonly have issues with being redundant or repetitive with. So maybe you notice that and then you make up a list and it's like, okay, let's make a personal thesaurus, right? So, but one of the more common ways that I've been doing it over the years, at least lately, is, can't see that. So, like, just kind of get into the word, like, okay, I'm using this word a little too much. Like, I see it 3 times in a row, right? So what you could do, not every program does this, but at least Word document does it. And with Word documents, Microsoft Word, you have to use the actual app. You can't do this from, like, if you save it on your OneDrive, you can't do it from that. You have to go into the actual software. So if you have Microsoft, this is one way to do it, and this is one of the best thesauruses that I have ever come across. If you haven't, you're lucky. But what you could do is just right-click the word that you're using a lot. This used to be called thesaurus, but synonyms. So we have dark, night, dusk, dimness, obscurity. It used to be good. Oh, here's a thesaurus. Let's look at thesaurus. A time is she. I like obscurity. So let's put in obscurity. Let's also put in dimness. If I can spell it. There. That's a good one. But you can also just like sit and take the time to find, just think of words. Like, there's blackness, there's void, there's emptiness. That's how you spell emptiness? Nope, it is not. That's right, it has an I in it. Okay. That's one way to do it. You can, at least if you have Microsoft Word, you can also just sit down and think, oh, what other words can I put in here? I do have other words, but I'm going to use that for later, right? So we have that. We have obscurity, we have dimness, we have blackness, void, emptiness. Those are synonyms that kind of fit the vibe of darkness. At least what I have in mind for darkness, right? And there are other ones. Google Docs used to have that feature, but I'm not sure what happened, so. Oop. Let me just quickly add what we have in here. And technically, we don't need this anymore. That's the only reason why I have this open. No, I don't need you anymore. Get out of my face. So we have that. Another thing we can do is, well, we can go to a site like dictionary.com. And dictionary.com is usually pretty good with this kind of stuff. Where's my, there it is. Like, it gives me the definition. Okay. And sometimes dictionary.com can, sometimes it gives, oh, I guess I lost my place. No, go away, shoot. Okay, well, I was going to show you the synonyms that I was showing, but doesn't want to do that. Oh well. Oh, yeah, so you can look up synonyms for darkness. There we go. So, yeah, I was right. Blackness, dark. Gloominess might work. Blackout might work, but that's not the vibe that I'm looking for when I say darkness. I don't. Oh, here we go. Tenebrosity. That's a good one. Tenebrosity. Tenebrosity. So you can just find a dictionary. Dictionaries usually are very good. Like, they have really good synonyms. But, there's that. And dictionary.com does have, a thesaurus.com. What are we doing here? Go away. Go away. So we're gonna go to thesaurus.com. What did I do here? Usually you can go to thesaurus.com. Let's see that. Am I okay? Oh, I guess I was already there. I don't know why these tabs are just confusing me, but we got something, right? That's the important thing. Another thing that I usually do is just type it into Google, just type in the word that I want and synonyms. So darkness synonyms. Let's see what, so this is from Oxford, so let's see what Oxford has to say. You can see here there's kind of a phrase, almost, absence of light. And that plays into my first rule of finding a synonym. That is 3 words. I want 1 word. Darkness is 1 word. Gloominess, dullness maybe. Sorry about that. Iniquity, that might be good. I don't like these. Do not like that. But yeah, we managed to get some more. But here are some that I have found over the years of looking for synonyms, just to avoid using the word darkness. If I can remember it, who is spell it? Cognoscity. That is one of the words I know. I'm pretty sure that's how you spell it. Those are the words that I have for darkness. For walk, I know how. I kind of have already, but here's one. Ambulate. Here's strut. And you can like make up. Sometimes you'll have to like make up little phrases like pattering. And again, think like, does that fit the vibe of the situation that's happening? So like strutting, like yesterday in the last episode I used strut for one of my examples. Pattering, I use that usually to like kind of give a cutesy vibe of like, this character is kind of cute. They're just walking. They're just going da 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 when little feet. Bobbling. Again, going with that kind of cute vibe. More serious one. Walk, ambulate. Let's walking. Let's use Google. Strolling, saunter, right. Stroll. Saunter. Trudge is another word. It's been a while since I've used some of these, so I kind of forgot. Oh, there you go. Lately, Google has been very good with synonyms. Look, I know how, gaze, peer, shift, or what was that synonym that I once used? Let's look it up. Sorry about the noise. Let's... Oh, seeing. Seeing can be one. Glance. Oops. Stare, focus. Focus. Ogle's a new one to me. Let's use ogle. Let's put ogle in there. Hold on, let me just quickly take care of something. Okay, I am back. Let's go back to 4 decibels. There we go. Okay, so I think we have a good amount for that one. So now let's do voice. What do I know for voice? There's tone, there's tenor, you can use that. Tenor, so tenor can have two definitions. That is a placement or a range of voice for singing, like a singing range, that's what I mean. But it can also like mean voice. It could be a good synonym for voice. What's inclination? It's been a while since I've used inclination. What's the other one that I used? Yes. Synonyms. Mm. Mm-mm. Do not like these. Let's go to thesaurus.com. Oh, I just remembered. Speak. That's one way. Tribulation, call, delivery. Tone. I use tone. Utterance might be good. Keep in a back pocket. But yeah, so now we have a little personal thesaurus. And these are like, these will keep you very good and busy for a good while. And then once you get a little bored or tired of these words, you can just look up thesaurus and see what you like. Another way to increase your vocabulary, and I kind of already showed you this, but you can go to like a dictionary site and usually they'll have the word of the day. And you can just look at it real quick and keep it in your back pocket, right? So let's go to the one for dictionary.com. Spindrift, spray swept up by wind along the surface of the sea. Now, considering what I have in mind for cryptic asunder of my book, that's not published yet. This would be a good word to keep in my back pocket. So let's set up a little list, kind of. That's what I need. My fun words to use. And no text. Spindrift. Now, when you go and see the word of the day, make sure you read the whole definition. This is where I don't like dictionary.com. I guess I could learn more, maybe. Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted. Or you can look through past words for the day. That looks like a good word, but we're going to focus on this, so. Usually sometimes it'll show you an example of how to use the word, but it doesn't do that. Maybe here. There we go. Here we go, example sentences. So this is where you also want to read. You want to read all definitions. There's usually like 3. And then you want to read the example sentences because that will show you how that word is used, and that's very important. Excuse me. That's very important for when you're writing because that will tell you this is the kind of word that has the same vibe for my original word. This is a good synonym, or maybe it's not. But I'll keep it in my back pocket. So looking up, I noted this winter of blinding snow whipped into a frenzy by howling winds that sand blasting the entrance some 20 feet above me. Yeah. I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket. And you can also go to Oxford. They also do that. Usually, I haven't looked at Webster's. I didn't do a lot of looking at other dictionaries, but Oxford is usually pretty good. Even though they have so many paywalls. But for Oxford, the word of the day is stonkered. And here's yeah, it tells me where it is. Originally military, extremely tired, exhausted. Now it's showing me what year and how it was used in that year. Okay. Here's a more recent one. So that's the military, and then it's showing examples of the other definition that I'm not going to mention, or the third. So, that might be a good word. Because I have another situation where I can use that. So that's one way you can increase your vocabulary. But the thing is, oh, I think the dog went in. But none of this matters if you don't use it in your writing. You can have all of this, but it absolutely means nothing if you don't apply it into your writing. So let's use some of these words that I have. And this might be a little longer, and that's okay. This video. What kind of scene do we want? Let's say he enters through the tenebrosity. He patters through the tenebrosity as his... Oh, I didn't mean to say star. Let's just say stare. Anyways. As his... No. Speaking with a tone of curiosity. What kind of place is this? Hawaiian, then ogles. box a object in the blackness. The ogles out. And others. Would be something like this here. Sorry if you could hear the munching cat. His attention moves on as he sets it down and continues to travel through the void. It's another, so travel, I'm using that as a synonym for walk, because I don't want to say walk. We're also given the impression that he probably doesn't know what he's doing. This is probably a little boy and he's on an adventure in the darkness. And that's one thing. Wow. See, we just came up with another synonym. So his attention moves on as he sets it down and continues to travel through the void. After a time that he can't perceive, because he's in the darkness, the boy collapses onto what he thinks is the ground, stopped. I believe that's the tense. The tensing we want for stonkered. Holding then sprays his face with the fresh bit. Oh! Something's going on. Hold on. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Someone doesn't know how to fucking cook. Anyways. Where was I? Something that sprays his face with a refreshment like a spindrift. I could take the time to type in like a splash from a wave of the ocean. Or I can keep it concise and use spindrift. So, here we go. We have a little story here using some of our little synonyms and some of the words that we got from the word of the day of dictionary places. Well, yeah, And that is some of the ways you can increase your vocabulary. I hope this helped, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Alrighty. Bye.